and welcome again to Kitchen for the Soul. This is vegan fusion chef Enrique Dusan. And here I am once again talking to you. And some people say, why you always talk in the car? For me, my car is like an extension of me, of my home, as we spend so much time in the car. And I'm very careful about what I listen to, what I'm exposed to, what I eat, what I put in my body. So I'm also very careful about what I listen. I listen to a lot of podcasts. Probably not a surprise. And yes, I love London Real Academy. I love Rich Rolls, and many of them that I listen all the time. But there's also time to digest. I was listening to a podcast, and it was saying that we're just so concerned with information, and we just get information, and we can also get an overload of information. Sometimes we need to digest. We read a book, we learn something, we need to try it, see how it works for us. Because there's not a magical form. There's not a magical form for a diet, for a recipe, for life, for anything. It's what is gonna work for you. And all of us are gonna find things that work for us, and sometimes things work for a while, and then they stop working. For example, for me, years ago, I learned about Fit for Life, an amazing book written by Marilyn Diamond and Dr. Diamond. Both of them, they were married at the time when they wrote the book, and it became a bestseller. And it's a book that is fascinating because it explains so many things in such a wonderful way, and it worked for me. I loved it, and I follow it. At the time I was living in the Caribbean, I was living in Puerto Rico, and I read the book and I loved it. Then I moved to Miami, got a job in Miami, moved to Miami, and I was going to Unity Church on the Bay, which is like a new age and a new thinking and open-minded and beautiful place to go for meditation and for ideas. And at that time I was going, and I loved it. Loved the music, I loved their enthusiasm and all that. So, and that day they said, today we have the author of Fit for Life who's going to be giving us a special talk this afternoon. So I was fascinated, and I met Marilyn, and I was fascinated with them, and I invited them to my house, and they tried my food because my passion for food has been something I've been following for years. And they said, oh my God, you're following everything to the dot, more than us. And I said, yeah. One time we went to their house and they offered me chocolate. I said, oh, you offered me chocolate? You mentioned in your book you don't eat candy or chocolate. They gave me one of those kids' chocolate. I said, no. So I was very strict. And that's how we are sometimes. We learn things, we take it very seriously, and then but you know what? This experience, we are spirits living in a physical body. But this physical body is something that we need to experience. And eating is part of it. And I do agree that we need to eat things that are good for us. And the better we treat our bodies, the better it's going to be. I myself, I'm very good at following a pattern and being strict and everything. But once in a while, I'll say, today I might have rice. I might have something. So it happens. Yes, that happens. And I'll be talking about that a little. You have to be careful when you eat it, how you eat it. And I'm posting this week on how you eat, and this is one of the things that I think is so important, and of the things that I learned is to understand the cycles of the body. And when you understand how your body works, and you work with your body and not against your body, it makes a big difference. There are a couple of principles that I think are amazing, and ever since I learned about this, I've been following them, and I can see the difference, mostly on how I feel and how my digestion goes. Part of what made me go into vegetarian initially and then into vegan was because I was in the advertising business and very hectic, and I got an ulcer. I was very sick to the point of stomach cancer. I was very, very sick, and the doctor told me, you need to find something and change the way you eat because your body is telling you a message. You can't keep on eating. So I realized certain things didn't agree with my body. The doctor told me, don't eat meat for a year, eat a blend diet. And I started. Back in the day, that's what they told you. and I lost a lot of weight and felt very good. I was having no spices, broccoli, rice with no salt, and very little things, some chicken, boiled chicken and fish. And then I felt so good without meat that I said, you know, I'm just gonna go all the way, no chicken or fish, let's just have vegetables. And it was really good. It made a big difference. Then I read Fit for Life, and that really helped me. That's when I started, and this is years ago in the 90s, and that's when I started, and I said, it does make so much sense to understand how your body works, the cycles of your body. And basically what it is, there's 3 cycles, and I'm going to start with the last one, which I love because it's the elimination. And we are always talking about what we put in our bodies, but more important of what we put in our bodies is what goes out of our bodies. Because everything that we eat is supposed to go out. We're supposed to use what it serves us, and the rest we're supposed to get rid of it. And the problem with us, with inflammation, with overweight, with all of that, is that we haven't been able to complete the cycles. We are loaded with toxins. We are retaining water, we're inflamed, and we're not completing the cycles. Even when you think about the word, how we name our meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner. What is breakfast? Analyze the word breakfast. And I love it when you think about French, they say le petit déjeuner. Déjeuner is lunch. So breakfast for French people is a small lunch. Breakfast for America or for English-speaking people is a meal that breaks the fast. Break fast. For Spanish-speaking people, desayuno, breaking the fast. So he has a reason. It has a reason to be the name that we have, because we fast all night. If you ate at 7 p.m. and didn't eat anything until 8 o'clock in the morning, you had been fasting for 13 hours. So some people get all worked out, oh my God, fasting, but I'm not gonna have food. Most of the time you don't eat when you're sleeping. Sometimes you just go hours and hours without sleeping. So understanding that, the first meal we have is the one that breaks the fast. So when is that fast happening? Understanding the cycles, at 4 a.m. in the morning until noon, your body is an elimination cycle. It's eliminating all the toxins and everything it doesn't need to. That's why your saliva, your breath, your sweating, through different ways, you're eliminating toxins. And that's what you do in the morning. You're eliminating toxins all morning. So what do? We get up and have coffee. What is coffee? Toxins. So by doing so, we're giving our body something that is working against them. We give it cereal or oats or bread, which is acidic, and it's going to go against the cycle. So the advice that I give and that I learned from Dr. Harvey Diamond which comes from the principle of natural hygienics, is eat fruit. Fruit should be the first thing. It makes so much sense. And everybody that I have told this in my life, it has made a difference in their lives. Digestion and everything. And it depends on your condition and your body type. You need to be careful what fruits to select. There are some fruits that are more, anything is going to make us fat. If we start eating 100 bananas, and if your body is prone to gain weight, too many bananas are not going to help you. Too many dates are not going to help you. So there are certain fruits that are better, and I'll be talking about that too. But what fruits are better to combine with other? And I'm proposing also the mono meals. And the mono meals is nothing like today. The week has 7 days. So maybe you just pick 3 or 4 fruits that you can rotate the week. For example, I usually buy watermelon and cantaloupe and plums and apricots, all of this fresh. And let's say Monday I take one of those round, small, they're like medium to small size watermelons that I found at Costco, and they're great. I just can eat the whole thing, and I'm fine with that. I ate a bunch of mandarins or mangoes, but I do it in stages. First I have the mandarins, like let's say 4 or 5. A little after I waited a little bit, like 20 minutes later, I might have a piece of mango, and then I go into the watermelon. But I don't mix them. I just wait a little between them. And yes, you're gonna say, oh, but you're gonna be eating for 2 hours. Chewing your food, taking your food, it takes some time. So just take the time to do it. By the time you're done, you wait until your dinner. Your dinner can be vegetables with fruits or whatever you decide to eat at night. But once you have the last meal, your body went through, then I was saying, your body goes through elimination from 4 a.m. to noon. From noon to 8 p.m. is when we're consuming food. That's we're consuming, and that's the eating cycle. That's when we're eating. From noon, we should be eating from noon to 8. And from 8 to 4 a.m. we are absorbing, our body's absorbing all the nutrients from everything we ate. So it's not so complicated that we need to understand what's going on with our bodies, and that way be able to understand and know what to give it. So I'm not proposing a specific plan of just go raw or go vegan, but whatever you do, make sure that the first thing you eat is fruits, and depends on you decide what fruits. I always like and recommend to have the juicy fruits first, and then the ones that have more, like I will have, for example, the watermelon or mandarins or clementines or orange juice first, and then 20 minutes. Why 20 minutes? Because it takes about 20 minutes to do the digestion for those group of fruits. Then I'll have a watermelon. Maybe later in the afternoon I had a smoothie or something. And the smoothies I'm careful of what I combine. I always use a fruit for make it creamy, be it mango or zapote or banana. A fruit that is going to help more with the consistency and the sweetness, pineapple. And then another dominant fruit that would be the raspberries or blueberries or tomatillo or whatever fruit I decide to be the one that is going to accent the flavor. So if I put raspberry, it's going to turn red, and that's going to be the dominant flavor. You can still taste the banana and the pineapple in there, but the raspberries are going to accent it. So I do that. And I've been adding some greens. I take some kale, dandelion, and add it to it, and that makes it an amazing smoothie. And I'll be giving you recipes and ideas on this. So understand your body and honor your body. First time you get up, have a glass of water, breathe, exercise, stretch. I mean, you see your dog, it stretches. So we're supposed to stretch and start the day. And the first thing we eat, fruit. It's gonna help digestion. It's gonna make it much easier, and you're gonna notice the difference. That's one thing I practice, and believe me, no heartburn, no problems, no digestion, nothing in my stomach works fantastic. So that's what I'm proposing. I'll give you some ideas on what to make for those meals. Those small meals are so easy, especially for people who have to take things to work. How easy it is to take just a few fruits. You don't even need to put them in the fridge. You just keep them with you on your desk and eat fruit when you're hungry. So easy. Our hands were made to take fruits, peel them, and eat them. So easy. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and like us below, and leave us your comments. You can also visit Vegan Fusion Chef and our page in Facebook, Kitchen for the Soul. I'm also creating Vegan Fusion Chef page for Facebook and Google+. We are on Instagram, we are in Twitter, on social media, recently on BME, which is an amazing, interesting application that I'll be talking about that later too. And glad to be here, excited to be here, and I hope you like today's talk. Share your